Zodiac. My name is Laurel. I homeschool 3 boys using the Robinson curriculum as the base of our homeschool education. Today I wanted to talk to those of you who are thinking about homeschooling, and let me just give you my best quick start guide. Okay, so if you're looking for videos on how to start homeschool, I assume I don't need to convince you why the alternative is less than desirable. So we can just skip the negative part, okay? These are going to be the things that I kind of wish somebody had told me, because it's actually all so much simpler than you think. So number one is, if you have a spouse or another parent, talk to them and lay out your case of why you want to homeschool or why you don't want to do the alternative. I don't know how I would do it if I didn't have my husband's support. It's vital. Number two, really consider homeschool as a full-time job. It is a full-time job for me to homeschool 3 kids at 3 different levels, run my house, take care of my 18 chickens, dog, cat, and we're getting 2 kittens. I mean, I have full-time jobs here. And still be like a human woman who likes to do her own stuff too, like make YouTube videos. I would say if you're new to homeschool, don't start anything else new in your life. Like, don't decide, I'm gonna start homeschooling this month and I'm gonna start working out 5 days a week and eating well. Just do the most important thing first. Get a grip on it. I remember one time it was really helpful to me. I can't remember what it was, but I was starting a new job and I heard somewhere that like it takes 6 months to even know what your job is, like when you start a new job. So I would say same with homeschooling. I haven't found it to be any different. Just remember, if you're feeling like you're absolutely drowning, it takes 6 months at least to even learn what your new job is. And this is your new job. You're the homeschool. I don't even consider myself a teacher, right? I'm not really a teacher. I'm like a librarian. Like, I feel like more like homeschool is like study hall. What study hall was? Study hall was actually always my like favorite. I feel like a librarian slash study hall proctor, you know? Anyways, give yourself time, right? When you feel overwhelmed. So number one, get the other parent on board. Number two, it is a full-time job. Accept it and be prepared to have to drop some other stuff while you are learning the ropes, and that's okay. You can have all the things, you just can't have do all the things at one time. Number three, you are going to go to the HSLDA website. I'll link it below. You're going to go to your state to find the laws of your state. I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit and go through my state and how I comply, and we'll talk a little about the website. It's very helpful. Don't be intimidated. All the states are doable. People homeschool in every single state. And then number four, you're going to want to start thinking about, this kind of goes hand in hand, curriculum and your homeschool style. That's actually, for me, you think that's going to be like a no-brainer. You think that's going to be more intuitive. It sort of is. The practicum is where it gets like a real, like, you could just pour your mental energy out all day, every day over this stuff. You think it's going to be, you're scared and intimidated by the legal stuff. That's actually like the easiest part. So let's go over those 4 things. We're gonna skip the spouse part. You deal with your spouse. I don't know your spouse. 2, you've already accepted it's gonna be your new job. You're gonna not start any new goals for at least 6 months. Okay? This is your new job. This is your goal. Number 3, let's turn around. So when we're gonna turn around and look at the HSLDA website. Okay. All right, we are back. We're looking at my computer. Yeah, I know people are like smart and know how to do, like, put their screen on their thing, but I don't have time to figure that out. I'm a grand millennial, okay? We don't know how to do that stuff. We're doing our best. Okay, so you went to hslda.org and you come to something like this. I've got a lot of extra resources on here. What is homeschooling? How does it work? Thinking of homeschooling, start here. What does that say? Let's just see what they said. Read this page, the start here, if you need tips on how to start a conversation with that spouse or co-parent who you want to talk to about this. There was some helpful stuff in there. What I'm going to focus on right now is the legal. So you're going to go up to the legal tab. You're going to find your state homeschool law. So there's our 50 states. So I live in South Carolina right here, right? So I have moderate. They break it down into no notice, or low regulation, moderate regulation, and high regulation. Okay, so I am South Carolina, so I'm, it says moderate. So there are 3, so each state will have this breakdown. They'll have how many options for homeschooling. I have 3. School required for ages 5 through 17. Notification required, like you have to let the state know. It says no, but see option 1, approval process. So when I took my son out of school, my oldest, out of public, the school did send me something to fill out and send back to them, and I'm assuming that they turn that into the state, because I'm sure the state would like to keep track of how many kids are homeschooled. Teacher qualifications, it says yes, we'll go into that. State mandated subjects, yes. Assessment requirements, no, except option 1, right? So, testing. Immunization requirements, no. Sweet. Not that I don't immunize, just that I don't want to don't give me another job to do. I have to tell people stuff. Okay. Options for homeschooling, we'll start there. So I think this is pretty common. In the state of South Carolina, this guy gives a little video. Option 1, homeschooling under the homeschool statute. Option 2, homeschooling with the South Carolina Association of Independent Homeschools. Option 3. In my state, I don't know anyone who does 1 or 2. Everyone I know does option 3. Let's click on it. Enroll in a homeschool association that has at least 50 member families. So that was the first thing I remember when I was reading that. I was like, what the heck is a homeschool association? Right? I didn't even know what that was. So this is actually the homeschool association. Just think of it as it is saving you a lot of trouble from having to deal with the state. They do it for you. Mine is like, they don't bother me at all. All I get is little reminders, like twice a year, a little email that says, turn in your halfway, we're at the halfway point, turn in your progress report. And I literally go in and click some stuff off, and send it. I'm done. It's super easy. I'll show you what mine looks like. So all you have to do there, right, is just go like Google homeschool associations. I'm going to do York, South Carolina. That's my county. Right. And so look at Palmetto Homeschool Association is actually the one I use. And when I first started, I called them, and the lady was so nice because I had questions about filling out, the application, and she was so nice and helpful. And I'm sure she could tell I was a total noob and didn't know what I was talking about. But she was helpful. So don't feel embarrassed to reach out to these people. There's real people to call, so that's nice. So I go in here, and the State Department of Education shall conduct annually a review of the association standards to ensure that requirements of the association, a minimum, include A parent must hold at least a high school diploma or the equivalent general education development, so a GED. So in our state, you just have to have your GED or high school diploma. The instructional year is at least 180 days. So 180 days of education, right? Instructional days can look like field trip days, right? They can look like you watched a documentary with your kids at home while eating popcorn and took some notes. I mean, the flexibility here is huge. This is not breathing down your neck. C, the curriculum includes, but is not limited to, the basic instructional areas of reading, writing, mathematics, science and social studies. And in grades 7 through 12, composition and literature. Okay, so that's what it is in my state. I don't know. I mean, it's about other states. I think it's silly to tell me that my kindergartner has to do science and social studies, but I may have made lots of videos about how I comply with that. It's not as strict as you think. You notice what's not in here? No stupid Common Core, right? No stupid over-the-top scope and sequences with kindergartners having a full sheet of paper, front and back, font 10, single spaced, of all the things that teacher has to throw at them that year, right? You can actually focus on the goal, not the check boxes. You know what I mean? I want my kid to learn how to read. Okay, now let's make a plan to do that. I want my kid to learn how to write. Let's make a plan to do that. I want my kid to learn how to do math. First I got to teach them how to count. and you build a plan from there, right? Or I build a plan. You might just buy a box curriculum or something. People do that too. Anyways, but you see this, how general this is? It's up to you what these subjects look like and what the resources look like. D, educational records shall be maintained by the parent teacher and include a plan book, diary, or record indicating subjects taught and activities in which the student and parent teacher engage. That is why I lesson plan. So for me, and these are not like super detailed, crazy stuff. Like, I have a lot of videos on how I use my lesson planner. I'll just show you a quick. Here's my second graders, right? So I just, like you can see, I break it out. I've got Bible, math, reading, writing, science and social studies, and his activities. And every day of the week, we happen to do 6 days a week. I just write that in. It's very simple. I don't do crazy lesson plans. That's like a diary, right? That's good enough. I'll link below one of my videos. That's a little more in depth about that. But that's not hard. A plan book, diary, or record. That's all it says. It doesn't. There's nothing more specific. It doesn't say you have to say exactly what pages or like what the theme was or anything really. It's super, super vague. So that works in our favor for those of us that don't have time to do that. That's I wouldn't even go with that. Nobody's got time to be crazy. All right. Anyway, so number 2, a portfolio of samples of the student's academic work. Okay, so just a few of the things that from each subject, just keep. So whenever we do, for us, it's really easy. Whenever I do. I do a lot of weekly packets, and they're like all stapled together already. Like I have a spelling packet that we do every week. My older son has a vocab packet he does every week. We have some writing assignments, and things. And like if, whenever you have anything like right now, the boys for writing are doing story writing. So they have this. It's all contained in here already. This whole thing, once they fill it out, will be a sample of writing. And I can just keep this. It's all contained, and I just put it to the side for the year. Do you know what I mean? When they do their math, my kids are doing, my oldest son, I'll show you, he's doing Saxon. I just get one of these like graph paper notebooks, and he does his lessons in here. He just keeps going and going, even between books, right? If we're out of paper, we don't start a new one. We just keep going. So it's already contained for me. I don't even have to, when that's full, I just put it aside. So I just keep, and at the end of the year, I have a stack of stuff like that for each kid, and I just put it in those big manila files or envelopes and label it. I'm sure I'll make a video at the end of this year where I show you guys my wrap up. Okay, so also when you're doing that, when you're keeping your lesson plans like this, right? You can see how I check things off as they get done, as dated. So you're already keeping, I don't even have to take I'm not going to do it as a separate attendance record sheet for that. I mean, it's right there. If anybody wants it, I'll give them that, and they can feel free to count up all the days that I checked off. We did stuff. Anyway, so a semi-annual progress report. So this is where the Homeschool Association is helpful to me They send me the progress report. I check the stuff off and I email it back. Or maybe it's just within the website here. It's insanely easy. They don't, I always comply, have this stuff in case for some reason your homeschool was audited. I've never actually heard of it happening. I am not concerned at all about any of this. So, by January 30th of each year, all associations shall report the number and grade level of children homeschooled through the association to the children's respective school districts. Right, so yeah, they're just the collection point for all us little homeschools. We report to the Homeschool Association. They coalesce that information. They report to the school district. It's really not a big deal, and that's considered moderate. I think that this is I feel like this is about just the right amount. So I wonder if I can get in here. How do I log in and show you what it looks like? So we did have to apply. See how much did they charge me per kid each year to apply? So $25 for a kindergarten kid, $65 for K through 12. Because I think they'll also help you make transcripts too, which is help. That's worth it to me to feel like there's someone on hand to call. Like when I start planning their high school curriculum and their transcripts, I will definitely be calling them before that. Okay, you get a break on price when you have more than one kid. So $90 for 2 or more students. So I only have to pay $90 for my 3 kids. All high school students, $50. Okay, I think that's if they're just by themselves. Transcript, program, enrollment fees. Nice, right? So they can help you with their transcripts. So they're actually keeping track of, okay, so I just have my kids' information. I put them all on the same page. You can see every year I go in and update this. Student Everett, grade 6, active membership. You can see how long we've been with them. And then, I don't know why it says 22, because we've been there longer. Anyways, but you can see I put in what grade he's in. So you can go add new courses, right? This is how you do it. When I change it, I would change it over to 7th grade next time, right? And I'd say course title, okay, math. And then I'd write a description. That's it. So I usually just put in to the description, I put in what books I'm using. So I'd be like Saxon, math, 6-5 or 7-8 or whatever he's in, right? 5-4, whatever the kids are using. And then you click that you want them to, look at that, save. And then it will take you back to the next kid. And you enter this stuff in, right? So then I do the other one. So, and I even put physical education in because I actually have them doing Taekwondo. So I put that in as their physical education. And I don't have to add a new student until I'll have to add Bo. Next year he'll be in kindergarten, so I'll add a new student. I think it's totally helpful. It's affordable. Homeschooling does cost money. They don't let you write it off on your taxes. It's just like if you send your kids to private school, you can't deduct the tuition on your taxes. Just so you know. You can do it in college, but not before. Okay, so the other thing to look into is your homeschool style. Let's look up homeschool style. Styles. So there was one I liked. This one, 6 different homeschool styles by Chips and Salsa Homeschooling. I just watched that video the other day. It was a nice, succinct explanation. So I'll link this video for you down below. But there's lots of people. This is Karen from our house. She is like the ambassador of the Robinson curriculum. If you're interested in our base curriculum, go to our house. I'll link her channel down below too. And she's super cute. Look at her face. I like her basic style. She's going to tell you. This lady, I watch her for her eclectic stuff. Oh, yeah, of course. You're on my channel now. Subscribe. Look. See my face? Not as cute as Karen's, but still, it's a face. I hope you watched some videos about the different styles of homeschooling. I guess I end up calling us eclectic because at different times, different styles make more sense. I'm an eclectic homeschool mom. I'm an eclectic homeschooler. All right, if you have any questions about homeschooling, leave me a comment. If there's something I didn't address that you'd like me to talk about, you've gotten your spouse or co-parent on board. You've accepted that it's a job, and it's going to take you at least 6 months to learn even what the job is. I didn't say be good at it. I said to learn what it is. So you're going to simplify your life because you're taking on a big change. You're going to go to the HSLDA website, check them out, figure out your homeschool laws. You're possibly going to register with the Homeschool Association, and you're going to pick out, you're going to do some research on your styles, be aware of what they are, because you're going to hear them. What you're going to do is you're going to go to YouTube, and you're going to start watching 1 bazillion YouTube videos. And people are doing things in different ways, and you'll start hearing this terminology about classical, traditional, unschooling, eclectic. So you'll just hear all of these terms, and it's good to know what they are talking about. You're going to pick something that you think is, that's kind of like me, and then you're going to try it out, and then you're going to change it, and then you're going to add to it, and then you're going to take away. This is how homeschool is. Just be prepared. You're going to be working. As I'm saying, it's a full-time job. You're going to be working. And you're going to, I hope you love it. If you don't love it, work at it. Don't give up. Okay? Your kids need you. Honestly, the country and the world needs more homeschool families. I strongly believe that. So move forward the culture in a positive way. And this is how you can do your bit.